turning inside out. Beautiful move. Trying to get the shot on. He holds. He shoots. He scores! Absolutely.
The pitch. High fly ball center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall. Goal!
Roethlisberger gives him a lot of room here. Juju Smith-Schuster off to the races inside the 30, the 20, the 10.
Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studios in Bethel Park. Thank you for watching our show. I'm feeling better. Survived COVID from December 10th. Still have some fatigue, some weakness. I had COVID pneumonia, so I have some breathing issues and a little coughing, but I'm getting stronger where now I think I can out-talk people again. So,
well, if anybody remembers last week, this man right here was left speechless for the first time I've ever seen
disclaimer.
in 10 years.
Disclaimer.
In 10 years.
Disclaimer. Dave Cable came in and brought an award for me, a 10-year anniversary award. It was my 5th award for 2021.
Congratulations.
I was stunned.
You got 5
And
awards in
and
2021.
speechless.
Yeah.
And
On what?
speechless.
On what?
Yeah. I was speechless.
Give me a
Smoking
recap.
Jim, we'll talk after the show.
Recap.
We'll talk after about that. But Dave made a special trip, came in, said, Smoking Jim's with a sweetie. Okay.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So we went on. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, all the way from Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, and all points between. We've even heard Monroeville. Some friends of mine, not Smoking Jim, have watched the show there. He doesn't have
They have cable
Verizon.
out that way.
No. They have something called It's Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny in Monroeville. Never a bad day. That's what they have. Well, we have some promos here. We got A2 on this, our sponsor, with an XL pepperoni pizza. Smoking Jim, that clapping is strong. And that's Olive Oil's Pizzeria, Hillcrest Shopping Center, right 5 minutes from here, right on 88. Can't miss it. Frank Fanera sponsors us with the XL pepperoni pizza, steak hoagie cut in 6 slices, and the interns and volunteers ate everything but one little quarter slice of pizza. So Smoking Jim's diet continues. Supposedly he lost 40 pounds when he was sick, and we didn't know what he weighed before. I asked what scale. He goes, "That's a nice shirt you have on, Machine." That's the truth that we found out here. So glad Smoking Jim's back. We don't know whether he was with Sweeties, throwing up, or whatever else. But nice to see him back. I got a special fundraiser we're doing with Jessica Lee. You can see it's Santa for seniors. We're getting donations of blankets and Pittsburgh sports gear, and it's going to help the Presbyterian home at 2344 Perrysville Avenue and others. So we're collecting it right as you come in the municipal building. Police station's on the right, BPTV on the left. We have a can there with signage on it. Just drop your blankets and other things off in there. Smoking Jim, don't reach in there. I don't want you grabbing anything. But you're more than welcome to drop it in anytime here at the police station. They monitor it. So if you're hiding your identity like Smoking Jim, we do understand. And we appreciate we're doing a by request show where we're going to have some songs and explain what we're doing for donations. So thank you. And this will be from as of Christmas until Valentine's Day this February, so February 14th. And thank you. Next up, we end each show. A2 on fire here. Wow, that white shirt is popping tonight. Mm-hmm. Look at that background. Stay Joey Strong, the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Poor Joey died at 8 years old. That's almost 9 years ago. and they've raised over $100,000 to find a cure for DIPG, the dreaded brain cancer that took his life right before his 9th birthday. That was 7 years ago, sorry. And they do different foundations and fundraisers throughout the year, so check out their website. Donate at least $1 of your time when they have their events, so check it out. All right. Look at that. A2's on fire. Always be smiling. B stands for Bennett. Bennett died at 16 and a half last year. They asked me to get 1,000 likes for them, so thank all of you and everybody else who liked their page. They're a 501c3. They help kidney transplantees and families in our area do different special events to help others more aware about chronic kidney disease like I had and children had. Bennett had 2 kidney transplants. They lost a younger son years earlier due to kidney transplant disease. So they're doing great things in our community, and just keep liking. Always be smiling. Thank you. Next up, A2 gave the signal. Look at that. Bethel Park Historical Society. Smoking Jim's clapper's working great today. Schoolhouse Arts History Center, 2600 South Park Road. Big red old trolley up there. Can't beat it. They got one of my favorite tea houses, which is Reginald's Coffee. Fresh roasted coffee that friends of mine say, forget about Starbucks, go to Reginald's. The price is right, the flavor's better. So I'm just saying, I like their tea. I'm not a coffee guy. Check out their coffee. They got fresh roasted coffee in their roasters, and they get it from all over the world. And they have different donuts and treats there too. For Smoking Jim, the gain back is 25, 30 pounds, 40, whatever it may be. They got stuff for you. And they have Wi-Fi. All right, local business. Let's see what A2 does here. The signal's up. Bang. Senior Helpers, 100 Broughton Road. That's right near Walgreens here on 88. 412-851-3223. Contact Jeff if you need anybody that needs help that's my age. I'm 65, a little bit younger, older, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, whoever. If they need help at home and being taken care of.
Can they help Chip?
Yeah. Matter of fact, Smoking Jim, Jeff is a friend of mine, and I said, I have a large black gentleman that doesn't really take care of himself. And he goes, where does he live? I go, I don't really know, but it's somewhere in Monroeville. He goes, what issues does he have? I go, he doesn't eat right.
Do you got a couple days?
I go, his eating is very unhealthy. His exercise routines are he goes to the gym and watches women work out. And he goes, well, stop right there. What can we help him with? I go, almost everything. He goes, we have services for him. Tell me what hours. I said, do you got 24/7, 7 days a week? He said, we'll discuss it. But they're great here in Bethel Park. They're a new business. So we like helping new businesses in Bethel Park. And if they can help my best buddy out, please wash his sheets.
Ugh, don't even give me that thought now.
Oh, sorry. Don't think about it. He's clean.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the good sheet. I want you for BPTV. Tell them Uncle Al sent you. Al Levine, the Talking Machine TV producer and host of Pittsburgh Sportsline, says you can help us. 412-831-3304. We have we got Ethan here on camera helping us out. So he's filling in very nicely. He's a senior at Bethel Park High School, Smoking Jim. And I know you met him a couple times, so it's always nice. And he did meet Chip last week when you weren't here. And you can help out. Look at Nick. Nick's not here, but we got Steve. Steve's been here how many years?
4.
Unbelievable. And this is going to be Steve's last time on our show and helping us out because he's going on to bigger and better things. That's a tease for a little bit later. And we got A2, we got A1, we got Ryan. I don't know who else is helping out, but you can be one of the people here helping. Look, you can go to Bethel Park and help learn things that may help you in college and school. So check it out. We even have grants that are available to help you out financially. All right, let's see what else I got. All right, A2. He gave the signal. Bethel Park Community Foundation has grant money for you, $100 to $5,000 for any groups in Bethel Park doing great things with our community. Go to bpcf.org, get an application. I'm a trustee on the board for years. Get us an app, and we'll see you there and vote on maybe approving your request for some money. We've given out over $1 million in 25 years. So there's money for you there, and we do a lot of great fundraisers in the community. Thanks to Bethel Park and others for all your great help. All right, here's the test. Let me see. A2 knows what I'm talking about. Smoking Jim don't have a clue. All right. Look at that adjustment. Skeet Service Station 6103, Library Road, Finleyville. Red, white, and blue station. They work on anything and everything that runs on gas, electric tools, electric machinery, hedge trimmers, weed whackers, boats, trucks, you name it, they work on it. And you can give them a call, 724-348-4715. We give another shout out and respect for Skeet's father passed away on the Thursday before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And he passed, and our prayers go to him. He's going to be cremated, and they're going to have a burial service down the road. So may they rest in peace. And Butch was one of the great guys. All right, they sponsor What's on Your Mind? Smoking Jim, that's why you found out, buddy.
Jeez.
What's on your mind? Smoking Jim Frazier.
Thanks, L. Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Coming at you.
you got to see Levine. Good to have my main man back, Chip. And it's good to see my man Steve, a recent graduate of PNC University. Congratulations, buddy.
Hold it.
It's on his
We need-
sleeve.
we need a
It's on his
disclaimer.
sleeve.
It's right here.
It's on your sleeve.
It's a sponsor.
Oh, okay.
With Point Park University. You've known me for 4 years and you still don't know where I'm
I
going to
don't
school?
know.
Hey, the only thing he knows is that you were at one time the rookie of the year.
And you went to, and how many degrees do you have?
18.
He has more degrees than a
He
thermometer.
has, let me
more
say,
degrees than a
he has
thermometer.
18 degrees, basket weaving, bead counting, straw making, hay for horses. He got all kind of good things on there.
Last time I talked to you, he was going to CCAC. But anyhow, if you say you graduated, I got to take
He's been
your
here
word.
each year since
Have
CCAC.
we seen the diploma?
No. We didn't see yours yet.
I got a pigskin.
We'll show it.
Hey,
What's
You
her name?
can.
L. Levine, the talking machine, I tell you what, I think I had food poisoning last week, lost 20 pounds, but guess what I've been craving ever since?
Lobster.
Italian wedding soup. I can't get enough of it, L. Levine, the talk. Not regular wedding soup, Italian wedding soup.
Is there any other kind?
Is it?
Chip,
It's so
Chip,
good.
your heritage is Italian.
Is it?
Did you ever hear of any other wedding soup?
No.
Well,
Okay.
my heritage
how
is
People
about-
not.
may make what they call wedding soup, but that's not wedding
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I wasn't
We
sure.
can't, folks, we can't make it up. All we can do is fact check. And another one, wrong.
But-
what else do you have, Smoking?
But by popular demand, everybody's been asking for it. My top 10 pitchers of all time, L. Levine, the talking machine. Please hold your applause till the end. And
How long is the list?
the list is 10.
That
So that
means
means
like
23.
10, 9, 8, 7,
No,
6,
there's
5,
23.
4,
Let me
3,
get-
2, 1.
Let me get
I
through.
hold you accountable
Let me
for
get
that.
through these 10 real quick. No argument here. 10C, Kid Nichols.
Hold an exception.
16.
I just asked you, and you lied.
10.
Yeah, and what did you say, 10C?
Well, photo finish. You can't
10C.
get photo finish.
Now, in a horse race, 3 can win. 1, 2, 3.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
That's a photo finish.
10B, Pete Alexander.
More than 10.
10A, Greg Maddox. Number 9, Gaylord Perry. Number 8B, Steve Carlton. Number 8A, Eddie Plank. Number 7B, Nolan Ryan. Number 7A.
Did you say 7B for
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan?
Hold your applause till the end.
No, this list,
Let him finish. Let him finish.
7A.
he doesn't know baseball.
Tom Seaver. They asked for my list.
You don't know baseball.
Number 6, Warren Spahn. Number 5, Randy Johnson. Number 4, they lowered the mound for Bob Gibson. How about 3B, Walter Johnson? How about number 3A, Cy Young? How about number 2, Roger Clemens? Number 1B, Sandy Koufax. And number 1A, and when you tell everybody to sit down in the infield and you got over 500 Negro wins along with 118 Major League Baseball wins, Satchel Paige, number 1A. It was so close between him and Sandy Koufax, I had to put them on the same plateau.
Okay.
Smoking Jim, I'm a baseball fan my whole life. That was such a disappointing list.
Did I miss one?
That I'm actually heartbroken.
Did I miss something?
How about the pitcher that had the most wins,
Yeah,
who also had the most losses,
yeah,
who also pitched the most innings,
yeah.
who also who actually has an award named after him to pick the best pitcher in the American National League every year. There is everybody else. The list starts at number 2. Cy Young is always going to be number
I got
1.
Cy Young.
What number?
Number 1.
I got him 3.
Satchel Paige, I could actually say I would count Satchel Paige in a legitimate top 10 list.
I agree, Chip.
No question there. But you were just pulling names out of a hat, my friend.
I was?
You don't know baseball.
Me and Steve agreed. Me and
No,
Steve
no,
agreed.
I didn't check my head to
Nobody
that.
agreed with
Me
you.
and Evan said he liked the list.
No, he didn't. Matter of fact, he almost laughed and fell down. That's what I
thought it was
saw.
good. Everybody asked me to do it.
But
and now you
but
guys are
Cy
picking
Young,
on my
Cy Young
list.
had the most complete games.
Yeah.
I believe he may have had the most shutouts.
Yeah.
Did he have 500 Negro wins?
Are there records that prove that? That's the only problem with trying to determine what Satchel Paige's actual statistics were. The same thing with Josh Gibson's home runs.
80 home runs.
They can't find the actual documentation to back up the fact that they say he hit 800 home runs. It's easy to say you did it, but there has to be some form of
They wrote
proof.
it in Swahili.
Smoking Jim, they did not. They were on bus trips to double and triple headers.
Now you guys gonna knock my league.
What?
You're gonna knock my league.
No,
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 I've
I'm
read
just,
about the Negro
Oh, no,
League
I'm- you know,
baseball. I gave you a book.
some of the people
I
on
gave
your
you a
list are
book on it.
legitimate top
Satchel
10.
Paige pitched at 59 years old.
Satchel
Brady.
Paige, you could probably pull him out of a grave right now, and he could strike out the New York Yankees lineup. Okay, that's how bad the hitters are in the New York Yankees.
And,
That's
and
on my mind.
that just proves our point, Chip, that Smoking
You
Jim,
didn't like none of that list?
you don't know baseball.
No, but I mean, I will tell you, there's some people on your list that are legitimate top 10.
Kid Nichols.
You just mixed them up out of order, man.
But that all being said, it was a nice poke.
He tried. All right, we don't want to hear the list anymore. Thank you. Chip Hayner, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Well, as much as I hate to admit this, somebody that, as a general rule, is not right about much. And if you don't believe me, ask his bookie. Smoking Jim said this in the preseason, and it has been seemed to be true 110%. Adrian Clem had no business being offensive line coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers or any other professional football organization. And the fact that he quit on the team with 2 games left, while they still have the potential to make the playoffs, to go take a job that he's going to fail at in Oregon for more money. I got to tell you, Jim, you hit that one on the head.
Thank you, Chip. Thank you.
And speaking of quitting on your team, seems to be a lot of this going around this time of the year. Now, the Pitt Panthers won the ACC championship. They resurrected the career of a young gentleman named Kenny Pickett, who 4.5 years ago, nobody else wanted, because if anybody else had been recruiting him but Pitt, he may have gone there. But he played for Pitt. And they've developed him into a top-rate quarterback. He decided after his senior year that it was of such poor quality that he wouldn't have been drafted in the NFL draft. Peyton Manning told him, hey, if you got a chance, go back to school. He goes back to school. He performs outstandingly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a Heisman Trophy finalist.
Right.
And the way he thanks the University of Pittsburgh is to turn his back on them and to bail out on the bowl game. Now, here's what my point is about this. People say, well, it's a business decision. Well, there's this name, image, and likeness thing that these athletes are getting now. So these athletes are getting paid. Why can't he buy himself an insurance policy to cover him in case of an injury in the bowl game and fulfill his commitment to the university? Why isn't anybody else talking about this? I don't know. It bothers me a great deal. Now, the please don't squeeze the Charmin guy, Mr. Whipple, who was the offensive coordinator for Pitt Panthers, decided to bail on the team and go take a job as offensive coordinator at Nebraska. Well, once again, the coaches quit on the university. Why can't the players quit on the university? And where's the head coach doing nothing but patting them all on the back and wishing them well? He stabbed both of them in the back.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So this whole thing about athletes choosing not to play in games after they committed to playing a season, coaches leaving under contract to go sign with a bigger and better deal, I think it's a bunch of horse crap.
Yes, sir.
So you ask me what's on my mind. I'm getting a little fed up with professional sports, and anybody that thinks that college football is not a professional sport needs to have their head examined. But, that, and of course, the ever-changing COVID protocols, because we're concerned about player safety. We're more concerned about billions of dollars for the televised football games that we're going to have to give back if we cancel games. They talked real tough at the beginning of the year, and when it came down to it, what did they do? They caved into the weakest union in professional sports.
Yeah, they are.
So
I co-sign that, and I'm a strong union guy.
that's where my disillusionment is. And you know what?
Chip, I got just one question.
Go ahead.
Why is COVID raging through the sports community now? Nobody's digging into that.
Well, it's very simply put, people have become complacent. They're
Nobody's delving into this.
That's what the thing. People are letting their guards down. For example, okay, we've got Aaron Rodgers, who has already been widely known as the person who's an anti-vaxxer. Okay, so he got COVID a couple of weeks ago. After the Packers game, he's interviewed by Erin Andrews, and she's interviewing him from 6 or 8 feet away. And she's talking to the mic, and they got a boom mic over there talking to her. So they get done with the interview. Well, the camera didn't pan away. She walked over there and hugged him. Wow. He didn't have a mask on. She didn't have a mask on. She walked over there and hugged him. And that was on national TV. Wow. Where is the outrage about that? Why isn't she fined same way they fine the players for breaking COVID protocols?
No, that's why I asked the question. Because you had these parameters, and it seems like nobody's going by it.
Well, nobody's going by them. But, I mean, that was right straight. I watched that on Sunday evening, and I was just like, did I just see that? And then I saw the blowback on social media. But you know what? Why isn't she suspended or fined? They're doing it to players.
Good point. No doubt about it.
Yeah, good point.
And by the way, I'm alive because of my booster.
And thank God for that.
Yeah. And thank you, Chip, for your opinions and facts. We appreciate it. Next, we'll go to young Steve Fisher on his last time on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
One more time.
Can't.
Sorry.
He has work to do starting January 10th.
On Tuesdays.
Yeah.
On a Monday.
January 10th, he starts his new job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, thank you very much, Al. What's on my mind tonight? Well,
Yes.
I'm actually a former college student now, young 20-something-year-old, fresh out of college, all through my blood. And you know what's getting my blood pumped up at this morning, or this evening? College football. Just less than 2 days away, 7 p.m., the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl is going on with Penn State versus Michigan State. And as Chip mentioned beforehand, we just heard that Kenny Pickett and Mark Whippy is going to be out of the game this coming Thursday, where, of course, the Pitt Panthers are right now leading the championships, ACC Champions of the Year, and the fact that Mr. Pickett is also a Heisman Trophy nominee. But the fact is, he's going to be out for the game for this Thursday, and it kind of leads to the question on many fans right now, including myself, then this is what's on my mind. What is it going to be for Mr. Pickett when his future comes hold for the NFL draft? I mean, this is a big moment for him where he's getting a big sponsor, Chick-fil-A. He's going to a big game, which I think is in Georgia, correct? Atlanta, Georgia. And he is going to be making big sponsorships and big opportunities ahead of him to be on TV and to show how well of a player he is in being a quarterback. So if he ain't showing up to this game because, of course, there are no protocols for him to pretty much get hurt and to ruin chances of his, future being a football player, and of course Peyton Manning says his future seems very bright if he goes back to college, what is it going to mean for him if he's going to be out for the season, and that to play in a big game that's going to be lost an opportunity for him? I mean, what is it going to take for him to be back on the game, back on the field, and kind of throw a couple more balls into the air until he ends up being a big name for the NFL? What is it going to take for him to be back at this situation?
Well, to speak to your point, think about this. The #1 pick in the draft last year, Trevor Lawrence. Can't miss prospect, right?
Right.
He's the 31st ranked quarterback in the NFL this year. Okay?
Who was his
Now,
coach?
just because you're the top ranked quarterback in the draft doesn't always equate to success in the NFL.
Absolutely.
How many
Great
years they're
point.
going to let him to perform like that? Now, you could blame that on Urban Meyer,
Did I
but
mention
you know
that?
what? If he was really that good, he would certainly be ranked higher than 31.
Right.
Well, I go from the head coach and the surrounding people and the support he did or didn't have. That's what I look at. So it's a gamble. Definitely.
It is a gamble, and and the only thing he doesn't have any control over, which of these lousy teams is going to pick him? What happens if Kenny Pickett gets picked by the Detroit Lions?
I mean,
Here's what happens. He's a pro. He can sign for a few $1 million.
He's going to be meat if he goes to the Detroit
Detroit
Lions.
Lions. We need someone right now to replace Ben Roethlisberger. I've been hearing a couple of things from our team members here at BPTV. We'd like to see someone replace Ben
Hold it,
Roethlisberger.
Steve. I got to interrupt you. Do you get paid millions of dollars to analyze the Steeler team?
Not absolutely, no.
Then how do you know that when they've had 5 to 6 years? Smoking Jim said they should have gotten rid of Ben 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, Ben,
So you're a
last
Johnny
year.
come lately,
Yeah.
and you're not getting paid. But I agree with you 100%.
yeah, and that's because right now, in pop culture sense, Mr. Pickett is now becoming an MVP as we speak. He is someone who is rising above the ranks to be a great football player. And we see potential in these kind of guys. You don't hear that often where like an underrated team right now, sorry if I say this, Al,
What?
the Pitt Panthers have been kind of on the bad side for
No, they have been for years.
And right. And
Yeah.
so, but with him leading the stats in the fact of the ACC championships to get this far and him to be the face of the team, we want to see someone like this succeed.
Yeah, but see, think about this for a minute. How many great college quarterbacks have failed miserably in the professional ranks?
Tons.
A lot.
More than have succeeded.
Yes.
So, I mean, I wish,
You're allowed to be optimistic.
absolutely. And I wish he would be here to, play for the Panthers when they verse against the Spartans, but, you know, he's trying to take precautions very seriously, as he wants to be successful one day and to be on a team that's within the National Football League. And that's what's on my mind.
Thank you again. We appreciate it, Steve. Great last commentary. What's on my mind? Well, it's about Steelers. I've been watching these games my whole life, been a Steeler fan, and I just wondered what's going on as I'm watching these games. We've been slow starters under Tomlin, and this year we haven't really scored hardly anything in the first half. So I Googled something, and I found out everybody knows the Steelers were founded in 1933 when Art Rooney won a big horse bet, put all the money in buying the Steelers. But most people don't know, including Smoking Jim, that they were called the Pirates. See, what did I tell you about our NFL Steeler expert? They were called the Pirates up until, listen to this, 1940. Art Rooney, who Smoking Jim said there's a curse, he renamed them Steelers. 1940. So here's what happened. They went 6 games. And I'm thinking, where did I hear this before? 6 games without scoring a touchdown in the first half.
Wow.
Now we have a chance to tie them. What an honor. You know, you want to get about stats.
Thank goodness we're playing the Cleveland Browns this week.
Right. This is a great honor. And for people that want to know about their record, they were 2-7-2. And Smoking Jim can figure that out about ties and stuff. But that's some Steeler history from 1940. Wow. And I thought it means so much because I've been like trying to paint my bathroom now because it's so boring during Steeler games. I was doing it when I watched the Olympics with soccer, but now I'm painting my bathroom. It's like the 8th time that I've painted my bathroom because I can't think of anything more boring that I would rather do instead of watch a Steeler
Well,
game.
I got an idea. Paint it in the morning before the game comes on, and then you can sit there and watch the paint dry.
Chip, I'm taking you up on that one. And we're going to be back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. My main man, Rookie of the Year in the house, Steve Fisher. And I tell you, high diddle Chip up the middle for a double is back. And I tell you what, man.
What?
Don't nobody get swagged out like Tony. The women love him. And I tell you, Al Levine, the talking machine,
what?
Any name with an E will do, but I'll call him Evan. And
What you call him?
I call him Evan. What you call it?
I just say thanks.
He calls him Evander.
Yeah. I was calling him Ernie.
But I tell you what.
Ernie's here.
I tell you what. The best editor on the planet, my main man Ryan, is here, and the captain.
How do you know?
Oh, no.
And the captain. And the captain. Would never hear out of place. Anthony keeping everybody together.
On the ones and the twos.
On the ones and the twos. But hey,
What's that even
the
mean?
talking machine, I'm going back.
Last year?
I tell you what, I was talking to, remember John Brown that caught the winning touchdown?
Yes, from Dan Marino against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Well, I was talking to his
in the
son.
Sugar Bowl.
I was talking to his 2 sons are wrestlers down, Aaron and John Jr.
Where'd you see them at?
In Lower Borough.
What were you doing there when you were sick?
I was at the Fox Chapel Yacht Club recently.
I thought you were sick.
Baja Grill.
Huh?
The Baja Grill.
He don't know.
Fox Chapel Yacht Club.
Yeah, that's the Baja Grill. Is the name of the bar.
Is that the name of the bar? Okay.
Hang on.
Always get a fish
It's a
sandwich.
nice place.
I always get a fish sandwich there. After my food poisoning,
It's the best fish sandwich you ever ate.
When was this? So we can put it in perspective. Was this last week?
A couple days ago.
So you've been healed up.
After Christmas, yeah.
Okay.
So Al Levine, the talking machine, that made me think because when I used to watch Aaron Brown play, that was back in 2005. So I'm going back to 2004, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yeah.
Draft weekend, my main man, the greatest coach in NFL history, Bill Cowher. with the great sweaters.
Who'd you say?
And Bill Cowher won it
No, what
that
name
year.
did you say? Because you could repeat that.
Bill Cowher.
Okay, thanks.
Bill Cowher was there, and he was very frustrated. He just coached the Senior Bowl game. He fell in love with Phillip Rivers. They knew they didn't have a shot at Eli Manning, but my number one quarterback on my draft report was a kid out of Miami, Ohio that was coming out after his junior year. Didn't start till his senior year in high school because he played behind the coach's son. But he ended up putting up great numbers as a senior in high school, 54 touchdown passes, went on to Miami of Ohio, rewrote the record books. And I tell you what, the Pittsburgh Steelers reluctantly drafted Big Ben Roethlisberger, the greatest quarterback in Pittsburgh Steeler history, with the 11th pick overall. And don't forget Al Levine, the talking machine. The quarterback that the Steelers was comfortable with was turnover Tommy Maddox. Some people call him touchdown Tommy Maddox. He had his own cereal out at that time, the Tommy Flakes.
Right.
And they really liked the Brittle brother, Charlie Batch, as their backup quarterback. Big Ben was just going to be sitting on the bench for a while and learning. Maddox get hurt. The Brittle brother, Charlie Batch, get hurt.
And what happened?
Big Ben steps in and starts immediately to rewrite the record books. And I tell you what, I hope that all the Steeler fans come out to what could be Ben's last game. I want one more year from Ben. I think me and the Rookie of the Year is in agreement.
I got to put a disclaimer.
I want one more year for Big Ben, but if we can't get one more year, I want everybody, all the fans, to come out and give him, standing ovation for all that he's done for the city of Pittsburgh. And I tell you what, we may never in our lifetime see another one like Big Ben Roethlisberger.
You could be right.
Well,
you could be right.
You're right to honor the skills and what he's done.
Are
as
you
a
going down
quarterback.
for the standing
No,
ovation?
the question I have is I'm following your lead from like 4 years ago when you said to get rid of Big Ben.
We had to duck.
You said before the duck, you said don't sign Big Ben.
I wouldn't have resigned
And the
him
Duck,
for that
Duck
long.
can't even play in Canada.
Well, he could have played here. He'd have been like Fran Tarkington here.
The Duck's goose got cooked.
Yeah.
Smoking
I got a
Jim,
taste for the duck.
did you lose your football mind when you lost your 25 pounds?
You know what?
Just asking.
No,
Somebody wants me to ask that.
No, you know what? Ben's performance this year has been in a direct reflection of the quality of the offensive line that's been stuck in front
Oh,
of us.
yeah.
If we would have had even if we would have the 15th ranked offensive line in the NFL, the Steelers would probably be pushing 10 wins right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Can't argue with you, Chip.
And Ben would be, the wily old veteran, the old guns. But I'm not. The guy does not have time to throw the ball. No. Okay? The receivers do not have the time to run their routes. So subsequently, we're throwing the ball 3 yards and getting rid of it in 2 seconds. Then you've noticed a lot of the times receivers' heads aren't even turned around when the ball's coming out because Ben, I'll tell you what, at 39 years old, he don't want to be hit by those 300-pounders anymore.
Right.
Okay? I don't blame him. So in Ben's defense, could Ben potentially, could we get another year out of him? It depends on what you're going to put in front of him. If you're going to put that clown show that you put in front of him this year, may as well let him ride off into the sunset.
Good point.
Well, my personal opinion, he should be done. Just go out. And as far as the offensive line, like I've told, with Steve, how do we all know what they need? Why don't the professionals get what they need so we won't be talking about it here?
Because what could
Well, here's what the thing is. They invested all their higher draft picks on skill players. And you know what?
Yeah.
Offensive linemen should be considered skill players. Nothing speaks louder to that than the way that the offensive line has performed this year. The Steelers would actually be a contending team if they had an offensive line.
Can't argue with you, Chip.
And I also heard somewhere along the lines that the Steelers have about like a 10% chance of even making it to the playoffs. That's 1 in 10 chances with the current stats that we have now.
If they win 2 games, they're in the playoffs.
And there's a problem.
Yes, and that's against 2 teams that they've beaten already this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with Miami winning yesterday?
If we win 2 games, I heard we're in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that's
For all you gamblers out there,
So
load up.
all right.
All right, thank you.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And you know, we're wrapping up the year 2021, and one of the saddest events that happened in the year 2021. One of the greatest baseball players to ever play, the person to this day who I will still consider to be the home run king, Hammerin' Hank Aaron, passed away this past year. Passed away on January 22nd, 2021. And the thing that I think that was such a shame about Henry Aaron passing away, because he was such a great ambassador of the game. He started his baseball career in the Negro Leagues, you know, played for the Milwaukee Braves / Atlanta Braves almost his entire career until he finally spent the last couple of years in his career with the Milwaukee Brewers. So he ended up back in Milwaukee. But watching what the Atlanta Braves did this year, winning the world title when they were not even in first place at the beginning of August. And the teams that were, you know, supposedly shoo-ins for the playoffs, the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves, with the loss of their one of the best players in baseball, Ronald Acuna Jr., still ended up winning the National League East. And they took everybody behind the woodshed and beat them. So, you know, just a quick reminder of how great of a player Hank Aaron was. Okay, let's see here. His lifetime batting average was 305. The number of hits he had in his career is 3,771.
Wow.
Number of home runs he hit was 755. Now, think about those two numbers. Subtract 755 from 3,771. You subtract all of his home runs out of his hit total, and he still had more hits than Wade Boggs did in his entire career.
Wow. He doesn't know Wade Boggs.
Okay? Runs
Sorry.
batted in, 2,297. Teams he played for, Milwaukee and Atlanta Braves, Milwaukee Brewers. He was a 25-time All-Star.
Wow.
World Series champion in 1957, National League MVP in 1957. 3 times a Gold Glove Award winner, 2-time a National Batting Champion, 4 times he was the home run leader, 4 times National League RBI leader. Braves retired as number 44. He had 1,477 extra base hits. I mean, the things that he did for the game of baseball and in the game of baseball. He is only one of 4 players to have at least 17 seasons of 150 or more hits.
Wow, 1 of 4.
And
Wow, that's huge.
wait, and
Wow.
that is incredible. And he is, let me see here, is one of 2 players to have hit 30 or more home runs in 15 seasons.
15 seasons.
That's it.
You know,
That's it.
that is just consistency in an era. Now let's take into account he played in the era before the mound was lowered,
Yeah.
where the pitchers had a distinct advantage. He batted against pitchers like Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale,
Yeah.
Steve Carlton. You just the
Don
list goes.
Drysdale's not on your
The,
list.
the list goes on and on, but
You didn't
he was
put
a
him on
great
your list.
ambassador to
Okay.
the game.
No Don.
And you know, I just wanted to let people know
That's
if you
why
ever
that
really
list
want to
is a
find out
travesty.
who a true Hall of Famer is,
Yeah.
and who an all-time great is, read up some on Henry Aaron.
Chip, thank you for-
and you will see, you know. So when people bring up players that they feel should be in the Hall of Fame but aren't being elected, take a look at the way his career was,
Right.
and then look at them,
Just weigh in.
and then you can answer your own question.
Thanks, Chip. Thanks for putting it out there to the
Go ahead, Jim.
non-baseball guy.
Next, can you do me a favor next week, or I can do it if you don't want to do it? Can we parallel the career of Hank Aaron, with Barry Bonds, or should I do that? That way the fans can see.
Well, sure. We could take a look at it,
Yeah,
but
you
I
know,
mean, you
stat
know,
by
like,
stat.
do we want to? You know, are we going to take
No, we're not going to take.
Performance enhancing drugs
Pre-clear.
and
Pre-clearing drugs.
posted here.
Pre-clear.
Just a career.
Pre-clear.
No, because
pre-clear the drugs.
I want to. We're trying. I want to compare apples to apples. Okay.
Pre-clear.
Seems more like apple to oranges at this point.
So I
In
mean,
other
you
words,
know,
just pre-clear.
if you're willing to look at it objectively, I would be happy to.
He doesn't know what that means.
I just wanted put that like he was running down
Since
the
they've since they've pretty much have gotten a better hold on performance enhancing drugs, so it's harder for people to cheat and get away with it. How come nobody's hit 70 home runs since?
because there was only one Barry Bonds. And
Okay.
All right, enough of this segment. And the non-baseball guy has spoken again. He's proven that he doesn't really know baseball.
he's the black Babe Ruth.
No, he's Barry
No.
Bonds.
That's what Hank Aaron was.
Hank Aaron was much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron was every bit of that. Hank Aaron had his
He
life
beat
threatened.
Babe Ruth.
He lived
true.
under death
That
threats
is true.
if he broke Babe Ruth's record.
That's
And he
true.
beat Babe Ruth.
That's true.
There you go, Smoking Jim. Thanks for your.
I was down south when he broke the record.
What year was that?
I forget.
You sure
But
you
I was
weren't?
there.
You
I
sure
was
you
watching
weren't
on-
at?
I was
I think the
watching on
question-
black and white TV.
Were you sure you weren't at Fulton County Stadium?
He tells more stories.
You know what the nickname for that ballpark was? They called it the launching pad.
I was 10 miles out of Georgia. I was in South Carolina.
Then you weren't there.
No, I was watching it on TV. I watched it on TV.
Did you eat a peach while you were in Georgia?
Well, thank you, Chip, for that. And no thanks, Smoking Jim. We appreciate your input. It meant nothing again. It didn't even add up or register, so don't listen to him about baseball. All right, let's go to Steve and his last night, and he may have some closing remarks for us. There's nothing to put up, so you'll just go to Steve.
I guess so. So
That's what I was talking earlier
A2
tonight.
is good, but he ain't that good, bro.
No, he did good.
right?
Hold it. Shout out to A2,
Yeah.
covered it. You missed it.
He had something for Steve?
You missed it.
I missed it, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we talked before the show. He knew.
So, what else is there to say as we close the books on 2021?
When did you start?
It's been 2017, 4 years since I've started here.
What day was it?
It was a day in June, sometime after graduating Baldwin High School.
Okay. And you came here, why?
Fighting Highlanders.
Yeah.
Go.
And why did you come here?
Because BPTV is a good place to show where your skills lie and where you're able to be a professional person in the future.
And how did that work out for you?
I mean, as I am now, moving on to better and bigger and better things, I shall say.
Steve, he's throwing you some softballs here. Throw him some stroke, you know what I mean? And talk to him about how Alan Levine has been your guiding light.
No, I'm not in on this.
Shining beacon.
No.
I'm just trying to be sympathetic.
No credit for me. I'm just trying to get the information about Steve. He came here at how old were you?
About 18.
About 18. You're leaving here at 23.
Yes,
And you've had a nice career. Dave Cable's helped you out tremendously.
absolutely. Dave was a shining light as well, as much with you being as equal to the whole entire show and,
And
to the
thanks for
program.
the assist, Chip. Thank you.
I do the little things, Alan.
I understand that.
And we are so proud because you came here a loser from Baldwin. Now you leave here.
Whoa!
Hey,
Whoa! Excuse me.
Can we cut that out?
hey, we got
from
nice
this?
track and field facilities.
We got to cut Smoking Jim's comments out because
He's a winner now.
Where's the censor bar when you need it?
Yeah, once we get out of
we
Baldwin.
need that censorship again, but hopefully we can cut it so it won't be rebroadcast again. We appreciate you. I saw you were a shining light since we're all talking about shining lights. You knew what you were talking about. I had a format already, and you wanted to change everything. So I helped you out and told you what you could change or what could be changed
And how can we
what
make
had
it
to
better?
stay the way it was, because we just wanted to look better and put a better show out each time. And I've won many awards with Steve doing the filming and, putting our shows out on location, did on location shows, boxing shows, many different things. He's even done Jessica Lee jazz shows. So we've expanded his horizons.
Absolutely. I mean, going to all the little places in and around Pittsburgh, and even into Ohio when we went to
Toronto,
Ohio.
at the Firehouse.
That was like an experience.
Joe Board Boxing. You made it there an hour and 20 minutes early, and we made it a couple hours later.
And it's a difference between him driving and Jim driving.
Yeah,
And I was just going by myself.
and it was a bright sunny day.
Yeah, even, what's his name, Jack?
Yeah.
Jack, he was like, where's your boy at? He's probably lost somewhere. The GPS or Smoking Jim's just looking someplace.
No, we were following the roads. We made it. No, but we had some great experiences. I want to thank you for all the good times we had and all the fun we had and the good shows that we put out.
Absolutely.
It's very special to me. Your time here, you were one of the best interns and volunteers that we ever had at Bethel Park. You stepped up every time. You went above and beyond. You created things for us. You did certain things. You suggested stuff all the time. But one of my favorite words is no. And you seem to handle that well. So it worked out pretty good.
I wonder if it worked on. How many times did he say no and you had to disaccept that? I can count pretty much. I'm an accountant. I'm supposed to know that.
Well, you better get your tablet out because I know you went through a few of them.
What's that thing called? Oh, yeah, an abacus. Do you know what that is?
No.
I do. I used one.
Going
I
back.
used an abacus because I'm old. You tried to stump us. You didn't do well. What are your future plans?
Moving on, I guess I could say just being a good accountant, working very hard with all the people that I work with day in, day out.
Can you tell us what you're going to do and where you're going to work?
I'm going to have to censor that.
I just wanted to put it out there because Smoking Jim thinks you just do taxes.
Well, I gotta give some books to him.
And,
I gotta give you
and
some
he
books.
said the only thing you'll
You
have
want to
is a
keep your
number
CPA
underneath.
license, you don't do his taxes.
Next thing is going to happen, the AICPA gets to you.
No, but that's what your plans. You'll be working for a nonprofit then?
Working in an industry for nonprofits.
Okay.
So I'm not a nonprofit. I'm doing auditing for nonprofits. That's all I can say.
We needed that clarified for Smoking Jim's lack of understanding.
Absolutely. I mean, with nonprofits, even BPTV being a nonprofit, Pittsburgh Sportsline's affiliates, and all the organizations we cooperated with in the past, nonprofits kind of drew me closer and closer and became part of a family. I mean, here in Pittsburgh, once you know one nonprofit, you know them all. And
No, it's a great community with nonprofits. I know a bunch and have worked for a couple myself.
Achieving greatness.
They're not a nonprofit. Let me explain Smoking Jim. He brings these things up. We're talking 501c3, which is you have to apply for an application to get your nonprofit status. Achieving Greatness became a for-profit company a few years ago, which everybody knew about, and Smoking Jim said it's for-profit. So for him to say that, it just shows that his education at Gateway is lacking, and his comments are lacking any type of conjecture of facts. And we'll just carry on. We're trying to accent what Steve's done, and I'm so proud of you, and knowing you and what you've persisted through with things like Smoking Jim throwing curveballs, even though he's not a pitcher. So you still hit him out of the ballpark.
follow-up question on baseball, Smoking Jim. What's the name of the Negro League here in Pittsburgh, long time ago, greatest team?
Crawford.
Well, that's Pittsburgh.
That was
What's
one of them.
Homestead
There was the
Grays?
Homestead Grays and the
Homestead
Pittsburgh
Grays.
Crawfords.
Okay, so you do know where it is. How many pages did you read so far of that book? That
17.
tells you?
19.
Gus Greenlee and with Buster Posey.
Yeah, Buster.
Yeah, absolutely.
My man.
Yeah.
We on the same page.
He doesn't know what page it is. That's for
Satchel.
sure.
Satchel.
He was sitting down. Satchel was sitting down.
Satchel always said, "Don't look back."
Yeah.
Right?
He's gaining on it.
Don't look at somebody may
No,
be
so
gaining
we
on
wish
you.
you well. Congratulations. And when do you start your new job?
January 10th.
Good luck. And thanks for being here on your final show of 2021. Who would think you'd end the chapter being a full-time co-host?
He did
Steve,
a
best
good
of
job,
luck in
too.
your future endeavors,
good
and
job.
always maintain that fighting Highlander spirit.
I mean, when you're through college at this point, there may be a few stipulations.
Well, we're going to have to end this show shortly. And thanks again, Steve. Wish you the best of luck.
But hey, there is one thing though. Sometimes if you guys have any boxing matches, I may pop in once in a couple blue moons, if you may say so.
I have your number.
Don't be changing it every other week.
I know who to call. On that happy note, good luck, and to your continued success in all you do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Al.
You take care. You're welcome. And we'll go to my last segment without the video because the video would put us off the air. And it's on location, no real on locations. I did want to give a shout out to Jake Clancher. He's been on our show. He's an NHL scout. I did talk to him for about an hour before the show, and he said, bet the Indianapolis Colts as a dark horse for the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So that's what his tip of the day is. He said, unlike Smoking Jim, you don't have to bet.
The Colts are talking about calling back Phillip Rivers because Carson Wentz tested positive for the COVID.
Oh, no.
So, what do you think, Phillip Rivers, if they do that, they're sunk.
Yeah.
He never won anything.
No. Nope. Great point there, Chip. Thanks for the great show. Had a lot of fun. Thanks to all these volunteers, interns, and everything. We appreciate you guys, and we're just trying to stay healthy. And thank you for watching our shows in 2021. 5 awards this past year.
And everybody out
record.
there who watches our show, have a happy 2022.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
And I co-sign that. Happy New Year. And we always have good karma with our shows. So good karma's coming to all of you. So please stay Joey strong.